Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how to write a simple program in QBasic, which is a very old programming language that was popular in the early 90s, maybe the late 80s, and it sort of came about as a way for the common person to get into programming. It uses some simplified rules like you can just say print when you want to print text, and you can just say input when you want the user to input text. Well, we'll get into that later. First, I'm going to show you a website of how you can basically go back in time and use QBasic. And it's kind of weird because you're using an emulator that runs this old operating system called Microsoft DOS that came out before Windows. And it's kind of weird because you can't really save the file on your computer, but it does save within the emulator. And I believe it's somehow saving it locally to your device because I saved a file that I wrote, a program that I wrote in QBasic, saved it, made sure that after I closed out my browser and restarted my computer and everything, I was able to get back into it. So I'll show you how to do that, how to write a quick program, save it, load it up again using the in-browser QBasic. So here we go. Okay, so first what we want to do is go to the website, and I made it easy to remember. I established a tiny URL for it, so it's tinyurl.com//loucksdos, LOUCKSDOS. All one word, lowercase, hit enter, and that should bring you to this website right here. And now you can see this is the actual website name, archive.org/details/ whatever. Yeah, and it's you click on this emulator right here in the center, and then it gets started. It's going to launch you into this window here. And it says press enter to see the survival guide, or press escape to clear this dialog box. Now, you could press those keys on your keyboard, or you can click on your mouse and start using your mouse. Now, it's going to be kind of strange, though, because when you start using your mouse, it's going to use your mouse within this emulator window. So click anywhere on the screen, and then it might give you a message that archive.org has taken control of your mouse. And then now you can see I'm moving the mouse around, and it's this little orange rectangle. So I could press escape to clear the dialog box, or I could actually just click on it now. And this is my mouse. But when I go up to the top of the window, it doesn't bring it any higher here. So if I want to, say, click on this full screen button over to the right, or maybe just close out of my browser, what I need to do here is hit the escape key on my keyboard. So that's the key that's usually on the top left of most keyboards. Hit escape. That'll bring you back to your regular cursor. And then you may notice there is a full screen option here. That's going to be useful. But for now, I'll just show you that you can, in fact, use your mouse. You can go to a different website. You can close your browser, all that good stuff. So when you want to get back into it, just click on the screen again, and it might say a message that archive.org has taken control of your mouse again, and you are now back in the program. So I'll leave it out of the full screen view, but you'll probably want to use the full screen view if you're using this for a while. All right, so I'll type a simple program here. It's good to use number lines with this old kind of basic programming. I'm not sure if it's required. We can look into that later, but I'll just type what I know will definitely work. We're going to type a number line, 1000. You could start with line number 1 if you wanted, but I like to start with 1000, because you never know, maybe I want to put something before the first line of the program, or I might even start with 10,000, but for now I'll just start with 1000. Now if you want to print some text, you can just type the word print and put it in all capital letters, print, and then put a space, and in quotes whatever text you want it to say. So it could say hello world, I guess is what most programmers would use as their first program. It's something that says hello world. Let's go with that for the sake of tradition. Hello world. And close this with quotes. And now we will run the program. So up here, I can click on Run. Now, the other way you can do it with your keyboard is hit the Alt key, and that will bring you up to this menu. Now I can use my arrows and go over to Run. I guess this is probably what most people would have done back in the 80s or 90s. People tended to use the keyboard a lot more. Well, here we go. So Start is what we want to do. Just start the program, hit Enter, and you can see there it says welcome to DOSBox, blah, blah, blah. And then at the very bottom, it says hello world. Press any key to continue. So as you can see, this kind of left some of the old stuff there from when the program first launched. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And I'll show you how you can actually put in some line of code before this. So right now I am using the arrow keys to move left and right. I could also use the mouse, maybe just click on the first character here and just hit enter, right? Just as you would expect, that brings it down to a new line. And maybe I'll do 0900. I think it might just correct that to, might get rid of the leading 0. Anyways, I want to clear the screen before I print hello world. So to clear the screen, you type CLS. So, oh yes, it did. It changed that to 900. So you can see actually another reason why you might want to use something like 1000 or 10,000 when you start your code is that it just kind of lines things up better. So like this C, it is visually appealing if that starts at the same line as print. So maybe I'll call this 1000. All right, I'll delete this. I wanted to interject here about a couple things that will help you when working with text, the text editor in QBasic. So just then I deleted some text or inserted some text before existing text, and sometimes if your cursor looks like this, it's blinking a blinking solid rectangle, then it will actually type over the text. So if I want to change this 900 to 1000, and I just start typing right now, 1, it will just type over it, 1000. So that's convenient. But let's say I wanted to insert something before the 1000. Like maybe I wanted to make this 11,000. Well, I should hit Insert on my keyboard. There's an Insert key that's near the Delete key and the Home key and the End key on your keyboard. Hit that Insert key, and it will change the cursor to this blinking underline. And now, if I go over here and press a 1, it's going to actually put that before the 1, and I can now put text before other text. Whereas if I press Insert again, it's going to now turn it into this, where I'm typing over text. Alright, so there's another thing I want to show you here. I'll change it back to the blinking underline. Anyways, I want to show you how to copy and paste. It's not the same way that you would expect. So if you just highlight it and press Control-C on your keyboard, that won't copy it. You have to press, I think it's Control-Insert, but if you go up to Edit here, Yes, Control Insert. So you can use that as the shortcut, or just hit copy from the menu. And then when you want to paste, okay, it's giving me an error here. Let's change this to a line of code. Print, typing over text. All right, so now when I want to paste, I can just hit edit paste from the menu, or shift insert. So now if I have print, and I want to maybe paste this again, I'll hit shift insert on my keyboard, or I can go to the menu and hit edit paste, and then I'll put it there again. So there we go. Now back to the lesson. And then I'll call this, okay. It's warning me that there's a duplicate label, because you shouldn't have two lines that have the same number, so let's fix that right now. Yeah, nice thing about DOS, even though I guess it did come out in 1991, I'm seeing down here. It was clever enough to let you know when there were some mistakes. It'll catch some errors, like it saw just then I had two lines labeled as 1000. Anyways, okay, it's going to run line 1000 first, which is CLS, clear the screen, and then line 1005, which is going to print hello world. So let's go ahead and try that. Start it. There you go. Hello world. All right, well, that's pretty good. Let's do another line that asks the user for an input. So we can say input, for example, what is your name? And if you just close the quotes, it's going to add a question mark automatically for input. So I usually just, or actually leave the question mark out, otherwise it gives a double question mark. So after you close the quote here, put a semicolon, and then we want to now assign what's called a variable within the program. So it's going to ask the user, what is your name? And we want it to store the user's name, so we could refer to them later. For example, if this was an adventure game and characters might be talking to the player, they might refer to them by name, and we want to store that value. So you can call it whatever you want, but what you should do is, because it's going to be text, you should end it with a $sign. So I'll call this username, because it's the name of the user, that is the person playing the game or running the program, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, it should end with a $sign if it's text. Now, if it's just a number, like if I asked, what is the year you were born, that's just a number, then that we would not put a $sign at the end. You could just call that year, Y-E-A-R, and not put a $sign at the end if it's a number. All right, but this one is text, so we're going to put the $sign at the end, and then let's go ahead and put in a line of code that will tell us, that will basically use the person's name. We'll say, like, if they put in their name as Steve, it'll say, hello, Steve. So hello, and then space. Now let's put the person's name. So we're going to put a semicolon, and then just type in username again. Actually, I just realized, well, we should put the $sign at the end as well. This isn't an input anymore. This is just print. This is just text. So the input is where you're actually asking the user for something, like we're doing right here in line 1010. But then in line 1020, print hello, and then the user's name. Okay. Oh, by the way, with these line numbers, you can see I am not just counting by one. That's just in case I want to put in some lines in between them. So that's an old trick that people used to use. Maybe I want to put in, a few lines of code in the middle here. I can easily add some lines, but what number do I give it? I could call it 1015 or 1011, something like that. All right, so here we go. We're going to run the program. All right. So, hello world, what is your name? I'll be honest. My name is Weston. I hit enter, and it says, hello, Weston. Perfect. The program works. All right. So, how do you save something within DOSBox or within this emulator? Well, just go to File, Save, or Save As. Usually do, I guess, by tradition, save as the first time you save, but either way, if I hit save, that'll also work. So File, Save As. This will give it a new file name, and it's recognizing this as the C drive, but it's not the C drive on my computer. I do not have a folder called Microsoft Graphics and Games. Well, I probably have a folder called Microsoft, but this is not my C drive. I do not have these 3 folders. I probably have a lot more than that, etc. But this is sort of the emulator's C drive, and we're just going to save it right here in C:\\, and let's give it the file name of, let's call it hello, and we'll just click OK. And then it gave it the name hello.bas, so that's just the file format, hello.bas, basic. Okay, so now it should have saved it, and if I exit this, and if I close out of my browser entirely, exit, I think, is the command to quit out of DOS. Okay, yeah, now it's completely quit out my browser. Now if I go back inside, am I still recording? Yes, there we go. Okay. So if I go back inside the browser, let's see if I can even open it. So was it tinyurl.com/lauxdos? Okay, here it is. Hopefully it remembered the program. Hopefully we can open it. All right. File open. So you go to File Open to open it. And there it is. And there's the one I've saved previously, test123. Just to verify, if I click on that, click OK, there it is. Run it again, just to make sure. What is your name? This time my name is Bob. Hit enter. Hello, Bob. Perfect. It works. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a DOS emulator that actually lets you save and open it. Pretty cool. I do wish that it let you save that BAS file on the hard drive. That would be the one area I'd like to see them improve upon. But aside from that, it's fantastic. Very nostalgic for me, was how I learned to program through DOS. Now you know how to use it, and there might be some more videos coming in the future about programming. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but there you have it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.